We're so puffed running up those
It was so
stairs.
fun. It's so many stairs.
Take the rabbits in.
Maddie, do you want to intro us in 3, 2, 1?
Hello.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Thanks.
I loved it. It's been a little while. We took a
Yeah.
couple of weeks off because we got really, really busy.
Yeah, mostly you, but
Your thing.
that was only one night. You
Yes,
had a-
but there was a big build up. You know, there was
Well, not
practice.
really.
No, all right.
a little bit.
There was rehearsals.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, and I will say, listen, I've been busy working on this documentary. Very quick mention up top to anybody that came to the event that we ran for the documentary. Thank you so much. It was so special.
It was.
Such a special evening, sitting down, watching that show. If you don't know, making a documentary about Johnson and Friends. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I will say you did a performance and I was blown away.
Thank you.
I was blown away. You did a hair hanging performance.
You were late and I did have to move it, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
I did.
I had to do the diva thing where I said to the organizer, my stupid boyfriend's running late. And she's like, oh, well, we can do the performance later. I was like, oh, really? You sure? And she's like, yeah, that's whatever works. I was like, oh, God.
And you're
okay.
like, oh, but I want to make him feel bad. I did feel like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar, where he's, constantly getting sucked in by work. And he's like, no, I can't let him down again. I was like rushing through traffic. And I think you knew that because you messaged me and you said, hey, don't rush.
Yeah, well, I
wasn't
knew-
breaking laws, but I was anxious. And I was like, oh my God, like I don't want to miss it. And I'm running late because I got held back at the thing. And then you were like, you're right, Daniel.
I saved the day.
The topic of today is my first email, but we've got a bit of a special surprise, and we're actually really excited about it. We were talking about the first email address you set up. First of all, do you remember what yours was?
I don't remember exactly, but it was probably something to do with like Little Cutie or something like that.
That was the thing, right?
It
That
was
was the thing. It was we were like, when emails came out, I think it was also just your age. It was like the concept of like, I'm going to one day use this for business was just, you know what I mean? It was just like, what are we using this for?
Yeah.
Mine's fucking, stoner fucking, I think mine was literally like stoner 29 or something like that. And it was only because people I knew, like people at my school said I looked like a stone. The year 6 kids had just learnt, obviously, what being a stoner was. So they were like, you look like a stoner. And I was not.
Yeah, until you turned 16 and were trying to get work and you had to put it on your resume.
Yeah.
You had to change it then.
That's right. But it got us thinking. There's, you could go through the Rolodex of emails in terms of like, I don't know. One that always comes to me is like Beach Babe, like
Foxy
Beach
Mama.
Babe, Foxy Mama 42, and whatever. And the thing about these email addresses is, they always have numbers after them because the originals are taken,
Yeah.
right? And they're never available. And it got me thinking, like, who are the people that got those original,
Those OG,
silly
numberless.
email names, numberless, no underscore, no dots, just the email address at Gmail, at Hotmail, whatever it is? Who are these people? Do
Yeah.
they still have the email
Are they
addresses?
still alive?
Are they still alive? Did they ever use it? What has that been like to have the first original one in the world? So then we had the idea of what if we just start cold emailing people?
Yeah.
What if we just start cold emailing the silliest
Big
email
dick at
addresses?
hotmail.com.
Big Dick, which has to be spelt with a K, I learnt. It can't, I'm pretty sure emails will
They
not.
sort of censored rude words. didn't
Yes, they
Yeah.
censored rude words. You couldn't, whatever. So we started cold emailing people from all of these that had all of these silly names. And I honestly was like, not hopeful. When I first started doing it, I was like, I did it in batches and I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen. And then we got a reply.
Yeah.
We got a reply from someone
Yeah.
who is happy to talk to us.
I know, that's so exciting.
I know. We got the original. Now, do you want to hear some of the email addresses?
Yeah.
So Big Dick.
Yeah.
And
Big
I
dick
tried,
with
by
a
the way,
K.
I tried everything. I tried at Gmail, at Live, at Hotmail. I think, honestly, a lot of at Hotmails have expired and gone. If you don't currently use your at Hotmail, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they've all been switched off because
Yeah.
most of those came back rejected. So I tried combinations of everything. So I tried Big Dick. I wanted to try The Parties. So it's so
Parties
the parties,
at.
and then at
Yeah.
Gmail.
Good
at, you know,
one.
Yep.
Good one.
Beach Babe,
Yeah.
Big Balls,
Okay.
Fart King, Sex Machine, Smelly Butt, Harry Potter Fan. I thought that'd be fun if we got the OG Harry Potter
That
fan.
is funny.
LOL, who is, Doug's like, blah, blah, blah. We got a reply on the show. We're going to be talking to this person today. And you know, it was funny. It was like when I wasn't getting replies, I was like, this is a dumb idea. Like, no one's going to respond to this. But I just kind of pitched them the idea. I said, look, we have a podcast. Came up with this idea. Do you still use this email? And then when I got the reply, I was just like, oh, and this person seems so cool.
Yeah.
Which is
What you told
crazy
me.
because it could have been
Any
anyone.
motherfucker.
It could have been anyone.
Any weirdo.
And this person was so cool over, and
Yeah.
we've been talking, and they're so cool. So I'm gonna play you a clip because okay, I'll tell you now. The email OG is a Simpsons reference.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
No.
All right, I'm gonna play the clip.
Flaming Mouse.
Yes, I'm looking for a friend of mine. Last name Jazz, first name Hugh.
Hold on, I'll check. Hugh Jazz. No, somebody check the men's room for a Hugh Jazz.
I'm Hugh Jazz.
Telephone.
Hello, this is Hugh Jazz.
Hi.
Who's this?
Bart Simpson?
What can I do for you, Bart?
Look, I'll level with you, mister. This is a crank call that sort of backfired, and I'd like to bail out right now.
All right. Better luck next time. What a nice young man.
Yes.
Do you know that clip?
Yes.
So we got Hugh Jazz. Hugh Jazz.
Is it spelled like huge ass?
It's spelled like Hugh Jazz,
like huge.
as in the reference to The Simpsons.
A-double-S.
Hugh J-A-S-S, like Hugh Jazz.
Okay.
Like huge ass.
Yep.
But it's spelt in the way of The Simpsons. Because I just thought of that. I was like, I wonder if somebody has that email, and he's got the original one. He's got, there's no. And by the way, if people aren't impressed by that, I tried after locking this down a number of different. Of what was available, nothing was available. You could go Huge Ass 1, Huge Ass 2, Huge Ass 3. Like,
yeah.
I tried so many different combinations. They're all taken.
all taken.
So this guy got the OG one.
Yeah. If people aren't impressed by
Did you? What did you? Because I almost let it slip in the car yesterday. Who did you think? What did you think I said?
I thought it was going to be huge balls.
Oh, that would have been great. We will try and get huge balls. And I will say, I am going to, after this episode, I'm going to continue to reach out to the cold OG emails. And this could become a segment on the show.
Yeah.
If you happen to stumble across this and you have an OG email, no ones, you've got Fart King at Gmail. We want to talk to the original Beach Babe, the original Fart King.
The original Foxy Mama would be good.
The original Foxy Mama, absolutely. The original Harry Potter, the original Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
But I will say, this gentleman that we've connected with seems to be like the Simpsons character of Hugh Jazz, where he was like, "What a nice like he's so polite and cool."
Haven't you spoken to him?
Just over email.
Over his huge ass email.
Yeah.
So he still checks it and everything.
Well,
I
let's
guess
get him on the
we'll find
phone.
all of that out.
Should we get him on the phone?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. I hope he picks up.
Hello.
Ernie.
Hello, is that Hugh Jazz?
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's good to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering our call.
We are so excited to welcome to the Remember That podcast. It is the original, the very first ever Huge ass, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay, huge ass.
We did a clapping sound effects. You can't hear it, Hugh, but
Yeah.
I keep calling you Hugh.
Yeah, you can just call me Hugh.
Yeah.
I think I'll be
Mr.
calling
Jazz.
Mr. Jazz, yeah. So now it's Ernie, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ernie,
yeah.
thank you so much for responding, because when we first came up with this idea, I did send a barrage of emails. We were trying to find the first ever ones, and we got no responses. Then we got your response. We're so excited, and it seems like already from your emails, you're such a cool guy. And we were joking before. It's like you could have been anyone.
Yeah, any weirdo.
Yeah. But I guess you
Well,
yeah.
it's the internet.
Exactly.
But you seem really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Maddie, by the way.
Oh
Hi,
yeah, this
Hugh.
is Maddie.
Oh, hey, Maddie.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Hugh.
So Ernie, what is the background of you mentioned a little bit over the email, but what how old were you when you got this email, and what is the story of having the original Huge Ass email?
I think it's kind of crazy. I think I was about maybe 16 or 17. So, very mature,
Yeah.
looking for my first email address. And I think Gmail had just come out. So, and the whole thing was that Gmail was offering like 1 gigabyte of space, which was, that's like saying a bazillion emails back then, because everything was like 20 megabytes. I think you got from Microsoft or Hotmail, or Juno Mail, or all sorts of different ones. So a gigabyte was pretty big.
I did think it was funny because you mentioned that on your email. What were you doing as a teenager where that kind of space was important to you?
Just because bragging rights, I guess.
There wasn't anything dodgy. You went like, oh, cool, I can upload whatever.
Yeah. It was other things I might have been doing as a 16-year-old.
No, I don't think so. Everything above board.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what were we doing? I didn't want to do my name, which it's funny because now I kind of wish I would have. Or some, obscure, like cool guy 25 or anything like that. So I was actually surprised because I just typed in Huge Ass and honestly, I just got that from The Simpsons.
Yeah. We played the clip before.
Really old clip. And it was available. It's not like I was camping out there, for Gmail to launch and get that first one.
But you were mentioning as well having this email address. Like, when did you stop using it? Did you have to get to a point where you were like, okay, I can't be like, yeah, Huge Ass at Gmail. That's where you can send this job interview details.
Well, it was shortly after, but like during when I was in university, when I was in college, and I quickly realized that maybe my professors or potential jobs might not appreciate that. Just to look a little bit more professional. But the other thing was I started getting just boatloads of spam. Basically, any web form in the entire world, somebody somewhere is typing in hugeass@gmail.com as their contact info. And so it just became unusable at some point. And I still have it. I'm actually surprised I saw your email because it's literally just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
And
was it a specific type of spam?
Yeah, that's a great question.
To do with like butt lifts or
some of them I think some of the
Sorry, it took me a second. I just got it. I just got that. The butt lift spam. That's really funny. Sorry, Ernie, go on.
All sorts. Any fetish you can actually imagine. I've been subscribed to.
Yeah, just automatically.
But you also mentioned that it was something to do with like loan applications and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So somebody out there is currently applying for a loan, and it is, I'm going through the whole process. They're getting an interest rate.
He's getting all the email updates.
What?
Yeah, they're picking out a nice. It looks like a 3-bedroom. Um, I want to say it's somewhere in the middle of America, but
So you have
yeah, yeah. So I'm watching this whole saga unfold.
you have just latched onto someone's loan application because obviously they didn't want to use their own email address. So you're now watching all of the updates like, hey, good news, you've been approved. Oh, hey, great. Hey, you might need this for your new place. Hey.
Yeah.
Now you're just going to watch the next chapter. It's like, we heard you got divorced. He's a good divorce lawyer. It's just going to be,
it's just the whole cycle of life going on.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you mentioned as well that you're a little bit into nostalgia and stuff as well. You said you build old computers. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do over you're from San Francisco. What do you do over there?
Ironically, I work for an Australian tech company, which I won't name.
No way.
But has a pretty big presence. But yeah, as a hobby, I've been watching computer nostalgia videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
and kind of got into buying old like Apple products. So I just bought like the original Blueberry iMac, and I'm trying to get my hands on an Apple Newton too, which were those were cool things to have when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Not that I ever would have used a PDA as a 7-year-old, but.
And are you a 90s kid? Are you an 80s kid? You don't have to tell me your exact age, but I'm just curious what generation.
So technically, 80s, I get to call 80s in my birthday, but I really identify as a 90s kid.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Because we talk a lot about nostalgia, and we talk about kind of the TV shows we watched growing up and all the weird kids shows that we had in Australia. We had a lot of weird shows in Australia, like growing up. I can send you some. What did you guys just have? Was there any? What was sort of your like go-to nostalgia shows growing up? What did the San Francisco? Did you grow up in San Francisco as well?
Actually, Southern California still, but Southern California, San Diego, so not too far away.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, nice. And so, what did sort of that '90s childhood in America look like?
I remember The Simpsons came out around like 1990, I want to say.
Yeah.
And that was it was super controversial to let kids watch it, which like my wife actually grew up not watching it.
Yeah,
which I thought was bizarre, but jokes like. Huge ass for like, ooh, scandalous on TV.
Yeah.
So I got to grow up, watching that, as far as, kids shows, we had like a lot of the afternoon Saturday morning cartoons were really what the mainstay stayed, but they weren't educational at all, whatsoever. But they were funny.
What were some of the cartoons? Because I'm curious if we got them over here, because we got a lot of American shows in that sort of Saturday morning. I would say most of them were American, right? Like we got Recess and Captain Planet and what else?
Captain Planet was big.
Yeah, I love Captain Planet.
We had Doug, Rugrats.
Oh yes, yeah.
Was huge.
I am curious. So. I am curious if there were a bunch of American sort of cartoon shows that never made it over here. Do you know what I mean? That they were kind of just like not.
Not available.
Or they were just weird enough where they were like, we're not going to export that overseas.
Yeah, we had a lot of the Warner Brothers ones were kind of off the wall, like Animaniacs.
Yeah, we had that.
A lot of the superheroes, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman. I'm trying to think of what might have been. Freakazoid was super weird.
I don't know that we got that.
Don't know Freakazoid.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was really niche. Had God, who he played Khan on Star Trek too. he voiced it. Gary Oldman, not Gary Oldman. Tim Curry was in it. Like,
Oh wow.
had some
Well-
really really good star power. But yeah, it was off the wall.
Wow.
I just want to paint you a picture, and if you work for an Aussie tech company, they might have spoke to about this, because obviously the American Australian, most of the crossover of what you guys watch and what we watch is going to be pretty much there. But I'm curious because the way they package cartoons here is we had this breakfast show, which Maddie never watched. We had one called Cheese TV and another called Agro's Cartoon Connection, and they had these hosts that we kind of, as a kid, you'd fall in love with. Right, so it was these two guys that kind of could have been your older brothers, and they'd wake up and they'd be like, "What's up, Cheezoids?" and all of that kind of stuff. That was a big part of like the connection to cartoons. Did you have an equivalent of that, or were they just like, "And now it's Freakazoid, enjoy, kids"?
You know, each channel had their own sort of spiel. Like the Fox network was, you know, kind of the edgier, you know, cooler network, and they had like the Fox Kids Club.
Yeah, right.
And you know, had I think he was more local, but we had Uncle Murph, who was he was just this larger than life, you know, he was just a man, not wearing in a Hawaiian shirt and a red nose.
What?
I'm looking at him. This is a picture of Uncle Murph. It's just wow.
Oh, I love him.
Oh my gosh. That is not someone you would leave your kids with.
What a character.
We'll put a picture up. Wow, he does look like, yeah, I'll look after your kids, and it just looks like, no thanks. No thanks, Uncle Murph.
Somehow parents were okay with that.
Yeah. Wow.
We had Scruff the crime dog.
Oh yes. Now that was do you know about Scruff the crime dog?
I don't know Scruff.
Would you explain Scruff the crime dog to Maddie?
Well, it was, you know, basically the you know, take a bite out of crime, don't talk to strangers, don't do drugs.
Yeah.
He wore a trench coat. He was just this big Labrador, like some sort of Labrador.
He was trying to make you behave, like that sort of.
So it was like it's my understanding is it was kind of like a PSA kind of government campaign to stop youth crime.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Does this look familiar? I think Family Guy's done a bit on it.
Okay.
Yeah, take a bite out of crime.
No,
you know
it doesn't. No.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something.
I want to say,
yeah.
He the voice or someone associated with it also got busted for some inappropriate conduct with children, I think, at some point.
That is way too ironic to be true.
Have we had any update on Uncle Merv? Has he gone down yet? Because I feel like if we're gonna point the finger at anyone, Uncle Merv's gonna be my first suspect. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Scruff the crime dog, and then allegedly gone down the path of a lot of children's entertainers.
The guy that voiced Scruff.
Yeah.
That's very ironic.
In Australia, we had another kids entertainer called Rolf Harris, who was a little bit Uncle Murphy, and
bit unconventional. Wasn't
exact same thing though went down for.
He did this thing where he'd make music with a piece of iron. He'd just wobble it and it made a noise.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, he did this other thing where he was inappropriate with children. That was like another bit that he did.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I know. Yeah, so Rolf Harris, so he's in jail or dead, I think. Oh, no, he's dead. Sorry, dead.
Wait, Rolf is dead?
Yeah, Rolf's dead.
Oh,
yeah.
Dead?
A couple of years ago. Yeah. Wow, man, that's so cool. Sorry. What were you
I
say?
have a question for
please.
Hugh.
Yeah.
So Hugh, did your parents know that you had this email, and what did they think?
Yeah, that's a great question.
You know, yes. And my dad, I don't think my dad knows my actual email. He still emails that. But it's
Hi,
he
Hugh.
says Hugh.
It's Dad.
He says Hugh J Ass though.
Hugh
like
J.
he-
Ass. Oh, bless him.
like
Does he know it's from The Simpsons?
I think he legitimately, thought I was trying to be some sort of crass gentleman, Hubert J. Ass the third.
He thought you were trying to commit identity fraud. Have you ever worn the original Hugh Jass as like a badge of honor amongst your friends and peers? Have you ever gone, oh yeah, I've got that one, and they've gone, wait, no numbers, no underscores, nothing?
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was.
You're like, this is not the first time this has come up.
No, I mean, this is definitely like up there, right?
Yeah.
An Australian podcast is. This is the height of internet stardom for me on my email.
This is the trophy. This is first place, or at least bronze.
I do actually have another. It's not a joke, but Ernie at a certain email.com is also laid claim to. So I do have another one.
The original Ernie?
What?
Just Ernie.
Yes, I do have original Ernie.
So it's just Ernie and then at something. We don't have to say it because it sounds like you use it, but that's it. I feel like this is a bigger story than Hugh Jass. You're not only the original Hugh Jass, you're the original Ernie?
How?
How did you do that?
So that one was day one.
Wow.
I went for it. So
yeah.
So you made these emails at the same time?
No. I was much older and wiser when Ernie came out.
Wow. So. Yeah. He was writing the stardom of Hugh Jass for a while, and then the novelty wore off, and he's like, right, it's time to get back.
I don't understand how a few years passed and no one took Ernie at.
Not even Ernie from Sesame Street. Surely he would have needed an email. That is actually wild.
It is wild.
That you got the original Ernie. Like, that's crazy. Do you get spam on that one too?
I do. There's actually
Street
maybe
spam.
I get spam, but I also have.
He gets Bert emails all the time.
Emails from Bert. Being like, okay, when are we getting back together?
Yeah, like, are you seriously not talking to me? And now I have to email you? I don't even know your email address, so I'm just sending it to this. No. Sorry, Ernie, go on.
There's a bus driver, and I get his schedule every week.
What is Ernie's schedule like?
He attends, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
He never misses a shift.
Yeah.
I think it's a school bus driver, and so he's waking up at 6 a.m.
If you wanted to be like a good citizen, right, and you read that schedule and you thought that's a bit much, you could respond to the email and go, guys, come on, can I get some of those days starting later, please? Can we swap that schedule around?
Yeah, do Ernie a favor.
You can step in and just be the assertive force for Ernie. And he has to
get
be
him
like,
a day
I
off.
didn't fucking send that. Ernie, it literally says Ernie at. So what? Come on. I maybe I could use a raise. Yeah.
I've been doing this for years.
Yes, ask for a raise for Ernie the bus driver.
This is it. We're going to change this person's life. Wow, man, that's crazy. You are at the forefront of emails, and so you work for a tech company. So you're I guess you work in the IT space.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it like to work with a bunch of Australians? What is sort of your take on the Australian people and Australian culture?
I love it. I think it's a much healthier and good approach to work. I mean, it's a lot of frankly fun.
Yeah, we don't work much.
Everybody is like super friendly. I almost feel like it's always island time. Could totally, shoot the breeze, chat before and after meetings, and
you're making it sound like you don't have a job. Do you know what I mean?
It's like, it's very much island time.
Yeah. You're making it sound like you're just on holiday with a bunch of Australians.
We're always having cocktails together.
I'm actually, he
works
really
for the Australian. He works for the Australian cartel. He's like, we just kind of fuck around. Honestly, we don't. Yeah, the Australian cartel. What does that even look like? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so you man, that's that's awesome. You have like a pretty chill cruisy job. What were you going to say? Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh no, maybe I'm just bad at my job. I should be talking about work and
No, not
distracting everybody.
Yeah. He's like, we don't do it. We don't. I just kind of go in. I don't really do anything. I've had a couple of performance reviews for sure. Anybody that listens to this is going, yeah, you should do more work, bro. Come on.
No, Aussies love a good distraction.
We do.
We
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. And you know what else Aussies love to do, though? The funny thing you'll find, Ernie, is we love to complain as well. We get ourselves into these jobs, and comparatively to a lot of other people around the world who are working and doing the real hard yards, we are at the forefront of complaining about our first world problems, for sure.
Yeah.
Like going, we should be able to work from home more. Like we should be able to, not only that, I should start at 10:30. I should have breakfast delivered to me. Come on. Like it's, yeah. No, that's cool. And so do you work for the company remotely?
Yeah. I'm pretty much all remote, and so I'm a Zoomer,
Nice.
pretty much all day. So
Oh man. Well, have you? Oh, actually, another question. Have you ever been to Australia?
I have not. It is on my list to do.
Yeah.
It is pretty
bit
much
of-
on the other side of the world.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
is.
very hard.
It's aggressively far away. Yeah.
Bit of a hike.
Yes.
Bit of a hike.
Yeah, it is. Well, man, if you ever find yourself out this way, please hit us up. We'll have to get you on the pod for a proper
100%.
for a proper sort of thing.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Maddie, do you have any other questions?
I don't think so. Not that I can
I
think
feel
of.
like we've got a really good picture of Ernie, and I'm so glad we learnt that you've got the original Ernie as well.
That's
Please don't
great.
spam Ernie, lady people listening. Please don't try different things. Is this you? And send Ernie different things. No, well, that's awesome, Ernie. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us and chatting to us, man. This has been so great speaking to a random person across the, not just a random person, the original email getterer of.
I feel like we might have to, if we hear back from other originals, we might have to make a kind of group where they can all talk to each other.
Yeah, for sure. That's a document.
And celebrate in their
That's a
originalness.
Netflix doco series for sure, you know. And we might even have to just
Yeah.
chat to Uncle Merv as well. Just be like, hey,
Yeah, look
Ernie.
him up.
Yeah, Ernie put us on to you. We're definitely going to look up Uncle Merv and riff on that for a bit. But yeah, hey, thanks so much, man.
Thank you,
We really appreciate you
Hugh.
chatting to us.
Hey, it was great chatting with you guys.
So
and a
lovely
lot
to
of fun.
meet you.
So great to meet
really
you, man.
Appreciate it.
Such a good dude.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
All right, man.
Thanks,
Take care.
you.
See you, mate.
Have
Bye.
a good one.
You too.
Bye bye.
Wow.
What a cool guy.
There you go. Freaking original. I want to do this again. I want to keep emailing and finding the original things. Amazing that he had the OG Ernie as well.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Years after Gmail came out or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Just people. Maybe it's one of those situations where just no one thought of it. Like everyone was like, "Well, I'm not going to just do my first name.
Yeah.
Someone's got that by now."
Yeah.
But not Ernie.
They would have
Ernie
done
was like,
first and last.
Ernie
name.
was like, "I've done this once before.
I can do it again.
I can do it again." You know. He was coming back for the second time round. He'd already been victorious the first round through, and he's like, "I can fucking do this again."
I actually, I should have asked him, but I wonder if it felt like an achievement at the time. I guess it wouldn't have.
Oh, we
because you
forgot to
wouldn't
ask that.
know.
Okay, well he can let us know. I'll flick him through the
Yeah.
thing. What a lovely guy.
What a sweet guy.
What a legend.
What a legend,
How
yeah.
lucky did we get? And
So
working for an
cool.
Australian tech company as
I
well.
know. What are the odds?
I would have said, "Oh, hey, send your work buddies this podcast." But honestly, the amount of not working Ernie's doing at his job right now,
No one's gonna.
I wouldn't advise him to be sending more procrastination
Yeah,
links.
well, he can't send it from the huge ass email either because they'll just think it's spam.
Yes, it's true.
It'll just go straight to their spam folder.
Oh, well, that's awesome. I'm glad we got to ask about his sort of, I did when I was asking him about cartoons and he was listing them. I was like, I'm an idiot. Of course, they're all just going to be the same ones that we watch. But I was curious because I'm like, there would have been, I reckon, a string of shows.
Yeah, Freakazoids I never heard of.
No, when I looked it up, I was like, no, we definitely got it. But I was just curious. What I wanted to sort of get was, what were the shows that we didn't get? What were the shows that played over there that maybe ran for a season and then got canned? But it seems like we got everything. Like, it seems like, or it
We were
seems like we
pretty
at
lucky.
least got the ones that made noise. There for sure would have been shows that got cancelled and that we never saw. What were you going to say?
Oh no, I just said, yeah, we just got everything. I think.
Yeah, we just got
Except
everything.
for probably those shows that ran for half a season.
Yeah. Wow, I don't think we have any Uncle Murph online.
Wow, how
Yeah.
long ago was this?
This would have been the 90s, but as he mentioned,
No one's
um,
uploaded it.
well, as he mentioned, and we sort of mentioned the other day, when we were talking about when we saw that clip of I think we were watching John Oliver, and you were like, "How many breakfast shows are there?" And I was telling you that they actually, it's not like Australia where we have Sunrise in the morning and that goes Australia-wide. Like they've got one or two maybe that go nationwide, but then each state, they've got their own morning TV breakfast show. And it's like, it's a lot smaller and whatever. And it sounds like Uncle Murph was specifically San Diego.
Right.
Well, that was a great interview. So going back to the list, I can sort of update and say who I've tried. I will say as well that I got to look up the rules for emails because there were some that I sent and all three came back rejected. So no one in the world has "I like big butts" at, which is sad.
Well, I guess that's not
'Cause
appropriate, is
We
it?
could have spoken to the real butt lover. Oh, butt lover. Haven't done that one.
I don't think that will be
Butt
allowed
lover.
either.
But imagine.
We'll have to put a poll out or a question out on Insta and ask people to
Yeah, let's.
write in.
100%. I think we want to keep doing this as a segment and interview and speak to the original ones. I mean, I'm so glad that we spoke to the original Hugh Jass,
Very cool.
and yeah, I don't know.
Should we try the other Simpsons?
references?
Yeah, the other
Yeah.
Bart prank calls he does.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot.
What else does he?
Let's have a look. Let's see if there's a compilation.
Most haven't.
Is Mr. Freely there?
Who?
Freely. First initials IP.
Hold on. I'll check.
That could be one.
Haven't.
Hello, is Al there?
Al?
Yeah, Al. Last name, Kaholic. Oh, pre-dinner entertainment.
Most haven't.
Is Oliver there?
Who?
Oliver, close off.
Hold on. I'll check. Oliver Kosar. Call for Oliver Kosar.
Surely there would be some.
There'd be
of
some we
those.
could scrub through, but I think we
freely, sure.
I think we put a call out and say, look, what sort of silly OG emails
Can you think of?
can you think of? Because we're gonna try and get in contact with them. We're gonna try and keep this going. And like you said, then I think we we get a big group of them, and then like we get if we get 10 or 12 or whatever, and then we just fucking battle them.
Choose your fighter.
We just fucking Street Fighter style.
We have an email off.
Crowd fund. We fucking crowd fund, and we just Street Fighter style do a world fighting tournament, and just do a fucking fight club.
Yeah. I love that idea.
Oh moo! Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, and
We look forward to hearing your suggestions.
we look forward to hearing your suggestions. And please rate us 5 stars. We'll be back. We're going to try and do it as much as we can, but sometimes life gets in the way.
What do you mean, the podcast or this email segment?
The podcast.
Oh, okay. We're not coming back next week.
We are. Oh no, but we're in Newcastle next week.
We are.
Yeah. So what do we do
We can do Sunday.
when we come back?
Hmm.
All right, we'll be back next week.
Yes.
Did you do a hello?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
We always forget.
Oh, thank God you did the intro. Oh my God.
It's always when we have guests that we never do
I
it.
know. We never. I know.
Because
I
you're
know.
so excited to introduce the guests and you forget about my intro.
I know.
You're like, Maddie doesn't matter.
Shut up, Maddie. All right, cool.
Oh,
All right, Maddie, do you
alright.
want to sign us off?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Good night, kids.
Good night, kids.
Thank you.